We know the story of slavery in America. Millions of Africans kidnapped, sold, and shipped to the New World. But there is another story, a forgotten chapter. Between the 16th and 18th centuries, hundreds of thousands of Europeans were also enslaved, captured at sea, abducted from coastal villages, sold in markets in Algiers, Tunis, and Istanbul. They were fishermen, farmers, women, and children. They were white. And yet their names have vanished, their suffering has been silenced. This is the story of the forgotten white slaves. Title: The Forgotten White Slaves. On the early morning of June 20th, 1631, the Irish village of Baltimore was attacked. Barbary pirates, led by a Dutch renegade, stormed the town. They looted, burned, and kidnapped 107 people, men, women, and children. Only a few would ever return. And this was no exception. Along the coasts of Italy, France, Spain, England, the Netherlands, and even Iceland, such raids occurred. Sailors, merchants, pilgrims, and peasants were captured and sold into slavery. An estimated 1 to 1.25 million in total, white slaves, Christians in Muslim lands. The perpetrators were Barbary corsairs, pirates operating out of Algiers, Tunis, Tripoli, and Sale. They attacked not only ships but also coastal villages in search of human cargo. What began as maritime piracy grew into an organized industry of slavery. These corsairs operated under the protection of Islamic states and sometimes even in collaboration with European powers. In an era of religious wars, Catholics against Protestants, Christians against Muslims, the lines between enemy and ally were often blurred. For the captives, it made no difference. They were traded like livestock. So, what happened to them, you might wonder? Many men found themselves sold as galley slaves. They were chained to rowing benches below deck, enduring the harsh conditions of being soaked in salt water for days on end. Now let's talk about the others. Some were used as construction workers, while others toiled as stable hands or miners. And the women, well, they often faced a different fate. Many were sold as domestic servants, some became nannies, and in certain cases they were forced into the role of concubines. The conditions were harsh. Abuse, rape, disease, and exhaustion were part of daily life. Yet some were integrated, converted to Islam, and even rose in rank. Slavery was not a fixed fate. It was a roulette of degradation, chance, and occasionally survival. In the Ottoman Empire, slavery was widespread. Christian boys from the Balkans were abducted through the devşirme system, converted and trained as soldiers, the infamous janissaries. European women were sometimes kept in harems. Slavery was justified on religious grounds. Non-believers could be enslaved. Ironically, European countries sometimes did the same, enslaving Muslims or even fellow Christians. Slavery was not about race, it was about power. There were, attempts at liberation. Christian orders such as the Trinitarians and Mercedarians, they raised funds to ransom slaves. Diplomats also negotiated releases, often, for high ransoms. Some states, such as the Netherlands and England, signed treaties with North African powers. But many were never rescued. Many died in obscurity, without a grave, without a name. Why has this been forgotten? Perhaps because the story doesn't fit the familiar image of slavery. Slavery is often associated with Africa, with race, with America. But slavery predates race. It has existed since the dawn of civilization. And it took many forms: black, white, brown. Slavery was universal, forgetting it was too. Today we rightly speak about slavery and injustice. But, let us not forget these people, the forgotten white slaves. Their suffering, well, it truly deserves recognition. Not to compare or compete with other histories, but to understand the past in full. Because slavery is not a black and white story, it is the story of humans against humans, of power against powerlessness. And only when we dare to tell all the stories can we truly learn. Don't forget to like and subscribe.